Well, welcome back to the Pitch Podcast. My name is Eric Wilbenaw, the president of the Baseball Blue Book. And one of the things with the Pitch Podcast is that it's a platform to showcase entrepreneurial spirit within the baseball community. Each episode, we feature industry leaders, innovators, trailblazers who are making a difference in the world of baseball. Our mission is to highlight innovative ideas, share success stories, and explore the challenges and opportunities facing entrepreneurs in the baseball industry. We're really excited about having Jacob Walters back on the program. He was on a podcast with me probably over a year ago, just talking about JAWBats, and it was more a baseball specific podcast. But today we're hoping to hear about Jacob and his business, some of the struggles, some of the successes, what makes it, and what does it take to be a business and a successful business in the baseball world. Jacob, welcome to the program. How are you, sir?
Thanks for having me back. Doing well. We got, great weather this whole spring pretty much, or I guess late winter. But so yeah, it's all good.
That's great. And Jacob you're up in the Kansas City area. We're just kind of in the same area. I'm a little bit more south. So yeah, you're absolutely right. The weather I don't think we kind of skipped winter. We had a few weeks of real cold weather, and now it's summertime.
Yeah. Don't jinx it. We still got a good month to go, but that's the worst part about the early spring is it'll tease you with some good weather here and there, and then kick you down a little bit.
That is true. Well, we ask all the owners to really begin with pitching the product and pitching the service. So we're excited to hear from you, Jacob, kind of what JAWBats is, and I'll go ahead and hand it over to you.
Yeah. So, a quick synopsis of what we represent and want to bring to the industry is, for me, when I started the company, it was all about performance and quality. So that is what we hold high to the highest standard. So for us, it's all about performance and quality and how can we make the best product for each player that we sell a bat to. And for us, we didn't want to just bring another wood bat to the industry. We wanted to bring something different. And I think the way we do that is with our customization. I think we have the most customized product on the market, and it's kind of moved into special request stuff, anywhere from our crazy SpongeBob bats and Chick-fil-A bats and the pink donut bats and whatever it may be. We're trying to bring a fresh new perspective to the industry and allow kids to kind of, have fun with it and represent themselves through the artwork on their bat. And, performance still reigning the most important thing and all that. So if the product doesn't perform and feel exceptional, then there's no reason for us to do it. So that's always been our motto. And we're trying to become a well-respected product in the industry and really sought after and through youth all the way up to professional baseball. So that's kind of our motto and mission and what we're going after. And I think we're doing a good job at it. It's kind of the issue of how do we continue to scale while still maintaining that, quality and performance. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at now.
That's great. That's great, Jacob. I appreciate that. Got a lot of questions for you, and I think the first one is you've been doing this for a while. You're not one of the new guys on the block, and in the time that you started your business, there's been a lot of newcomers to the industry, right? Talk about kind of staying. You've talked about staying relevant, staying ahead of things, providing. That customization and obviously quality for the bats. How do you continue to move forward as you are seeing all of these new competitors come into the market?
Yeah, so I try to not pay attention to what other people are doing. I think I try to stay aware of what everybody's doing, but not pay attention to it. I don't want anybody to influence what we want to do. So I think the best way to be different is just be true to who you are. So I trust in our guys that we have here in the shop and my ability to create something that's relevant and fresh and try to create trends instead of follow trends. I think with how things move, how fast things move now, if you're trying to stay within trends, you're always behind. So we try to create trends, and sometimes they don't hit, sometimes they do, and we're just trying to get as much new content, new product out as quickly as we can, and go off of what's hitting and what's not. So yeah, that's
balancing the quality with the innovation, and really innovation in bat world, in my opinion, is what you do. It's the creativity. Are you the creative guy behind this, or do you have a team of people that come up with the ideas and keeping these things, kind of current trends?
yeah. And I'm not a super creative guy. I would say I think I'm a good curator of good ideas and products. Um, you know, the guys that we have in the shop, whether it be Austin, our client relations and business development, or Braden, our creative director, um, you know, we kind of rely on each other to come up with some new stuff. Braden's very creative, so obviously a lot of it comes from him. Um, but a lot of it's our customers too. So we try to listen to them and what they want, and have our ear to the social media, and try to figure out and stay ahead of what they want to do as well. So, if we get a guy, or, we see a ton of guys saying like, "Oh, I'll make a Chick-fil-A bat," then we're gonna probably make a Chick-fil-A bat as soon as we can. So we're just trying to listen to everybody and make sure we're taking care of people.
That's really important. I think one of the things that is difficult uh, as you grow in a business is to stay as close as you can to the customers that you are servicing, right? Margins and revenues and all the things that come into a business at times takes your eye off of what started the business, what made you successful at the beginning. Is it really the social? When you talked about social media, talked about your customers, describe specifically your target market and the unique value proposition that you have in the baseball industry.
Yeah, so I guess for us, it's always been about the high school, college guys, and some youth as well. We focus on quality ball players, people that are serious about the game and want to get better. And because our product isn't cheap, so we know that people that are coming to us to purchase a bat, they're serious. They want to, they want to get better at the game. They want to have a product that will perform and feel exceptional. And so that's always been our target market. And a lot of it too spills into people just want crazy fun bats. So um, we've always been, all we know is good baseball. Austin and I both played. Austin played Division I baseball. I played at JUCO. Went to the JUCO route, but we all played good baseball. I was very fortunate to go to the World Series both years under Steve Murray, and that's all I've ever known is good baseball. So we tend to gravitate towards the players that are serious about the game and want to get better. And we may have a lot of fun with our products and how we go about things, but we're also very serious about getting better and working with guys that want to be better.
I always relate the custom bat and wood bat business to kind of the microbrew business. And one, there's the microbrews that came out a while ago and all of a sudden become big and now part of everything that's going on, and now competing kind of with the domestic type beers and the large ones. How do you stay, as you continue to grow, stayed focused? And we've talked about it a bit, but there is a tendency in a business perspective that you want to go to that next level. Is that something that you're doing and something that you're focused on? And if so, how do you stay true to how you got there?
Yeah, I think it's who all you work with. So I was very fortunate to bring on a partner a couple of years ago now. So we're able to, really scale and grow the way we want to. But I think the most important thing with that partnership was surrounding myself with people that understood my vision and were comfortable with that. And I never liked the corporate feel of companies. I thought they were a little disconnected. And, obviously in this industry, it's very difficult to scale without financial aid. And when you do so, sometimes you kind of lose yourself in that whole process. And the reason I wanted to work with these guys is because they understood my vision and didn't want me to, venture off from our goals and where we were heading, or where we wanted the company to be. Um, I think the best way to do that is to still keep your ear to, your customers and make sure that you are staying relevant with them and you are being personable and trying to respond to everybody and make it feel like you are this small company when really you're trying to scale and become a large, brand in a sense. But yeah, I think that's been the hardest thing is trying to make sure we stay true to who we are. But that's all I know. So I'm not this big business guy anyways. So it's easy for me to just kind of still stay the small bat company that likes to have fun and take care of everybody.
That's great. One of the things you hear a lot about finding, I hear it with coaches and players about finding your right fit. You had just talked about finding partners and maybe investors or business relationships. It applies there as well, right? Finding the right fit so that they understand your vision and the mission that you have, because it very easily can get sidetracked, right, and detoured. Was that ever a struggle that you had? You said a couple of years ago you found the right thing. Were there any struggles of growth that you had that you'd like to kind of just talk through?
Yeah, I think the biggest struggle was just I wouldn't let go of anything, and I tried to do it all myself. And I am pretty grateful that I did go about it that way because I think, being so young, I was so dumb and naive. I'm still dumb and naive, but even more so when you're, 18, 19, 20. I think I avoided a lot of things that could have led me down a bad path. I wasn't the best student, but I would always had some common sense, I think, and my wife is very intuitive, as most wives are. So you kind of understand nefarious characters and who has your best interest at heart. And when we met these people, it was just like well, meeting your wife for the first time. You're like, oh, this is how it should
Right,
be,
right.
And, it's been an awesome experience through the whole thing, and I think we have some really big opportunities in front of us and a lot of big things coming. Um, and it's a lot to do with them. So we're very, very
That's
grateful.
awesome. So we talked about kind of the some of the things that you had to go through, the intuition and finding the right fit. What does success look like for you, the brand and the company, and then what does that look like going forward? What is the 3 to 5 year plan for JAWBats?
Yeah, I think continue to develop as a very well respected company, more desirable. We'd like to get MLB certified and see some of that product up in some of the biggest names in the game, and then also just being able to scale it to a size that we see. You know, to me, I want to be as big as I can be while still maintaining who we are. So whether that's 30,000 bats a year or whatever the crazy number is, as long as we're staying true to who we are, um, it doesn't matter to me how big we get. I don't want to be small. I would like to take care of my employees and my buddies that work for
Yep.
me and like to make our partners happy. And so I would like to be a big company. I just want to maintain that small company feel. So for me, I don't like to put numbers on it. It's just, obviously, I think if you do the right things, profit, comes later. So I think just maintaining that quality and performance while still being true to who we are is our goals for the next 3 to 5
You had
years.
just made a comment, and I appreciate that comment. The profit will come later, and as the business owner, you understand that you're paid last. Talk about that.
Oh
Just
yeah.
the business owners. I've seen my audience, and it's a lot of the entrepreneurs and the people that want to get started. What does that mean? Talk about that in a general sense of kind of the expectations. Take us through what it took you to be where you are today, some of the struggles that you guys had to go through, specifically you as the business owner, and why it's so important to take care of your employees, as well as the customers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's any business owner understands that it's financially daunting and very hard on you as the owner because you're reinvesting so much money into your company all the time, and for a long time I didn't hardly pay myself anything, and it was hard on my wife and my family, and as we get older and want to build our family and grow, that's going to be even tougher. So for me, it was never about the money. I look at money as a vehicle to continue to do the things I
Yeah.
love. Unfortunately, we have to make money to, to continue on doing these things. But the employees are the most important thing that you'll ever have in your business. And if, I always say that there's two big factors in having employees, and that's money and, workplace morale. They could be the funnest place to work ever, but if you're not paying them enough, they're not going to
Yeah.
stay. So you got to pay your guys enough. That's one thing we're working on now, is making sure we can get our guys paid and do really well with, and have them build a career with us. Because, like I said, they're the most important thing you can ever have in a business. As soon as I brought on help, that's when things completely changed for me in JAWBats. So, it's reinvesting. You just got to keep reinvesting into that company. That's your money maker. So if that thing is running, and you've got enough financial aid, then years down the road you could be so successful that you could never imagine. So that's always my goal, is to reinvest. And I I just want to do this. That's all I've ever wanted. And the money side was never, if I can go golf every once in a while, I'm happy. So I do have a shoe problem. So I like to buy shoes, but I am financially smart. So I just want to do this. Like I said, it's, as long as I can keep this finance, that's all I care
That's
about.
great. You mentioned golf. I used to be a big golfer, and then I went and bought my dream set of clubs, a new set of Titleist, and I was so excited to get out there. Then I decided to start the Baseball Blue Book. I have been golfing once in the last 3 years,
Yeah.
and they're sitting there collecting dust. So I get. I love to be able to golf a few times, but you know what? It is all about building the business, and it's very rewarding. Talk about you. I see a lot of product behind you. You're not just a bat company. You've got a lot of different things. Is that part of the strategy, or is it really is that just promotional type material that you have? Is there any thoughts of branching out to expand the JAWBats to more of additional products?
Yeah. I think, I've always, baseball is always number one, of course, for us. So anything baseball adjacent was what we wanted to create. And I'm a big, clothing fashion guy too. I like clothes. I like design, trying to design clothes. So apparel was going to be a big thing for us. And we try to do a good job with hats and t-shirts and whatever, we got. So, bat grips, we just got our own line of bat grips now, the Jaw bat grips. We'd like to do batting gloves at some point. So anything baseball bat related, we're going to go after initially. We're working on metal bats as we speak right now. So hopefully we'll have something there here in the next year or so. And then, see where it goes from there. We can always get into other sports related items. Maybe Jaw Sports is the next venture with the brand. Yeah, I just wanted to be a well respected brand. It was all about branding for us. If we respected the
Yep.
brand, we wanted to make sure we put anything out that was good that had our name on it. So that was, so anything baseball adjacent right now is what we're
That's
going
great.
after.
Your logo is awesome. You guys do a really nice job of branding. Make sure you guys download the app, Baseball Blue Book. You can find the JAWBats contact information, their website, all of that information in there. But certainly the social feeds, the Instagram, some pretty cool designs. I'm a big fan. And I think it's awesome. Talk as we wrap up. In your opinion, what are some of the emerging trends and opportunities you see in baseball industry specifically that's going to affect or uh, bring new opportunities to JAWBats?
Yeah, I mean, I think you see a ton of just everybody's going custom now. I think as the bigger brands realize that it's hard for them to compete customization wise with the smaller brands, you start to see them do a lot of that stuff. Invictus has done an incredible job with their metal pencil bat that they just came out with, which I think helps everybody. I think, any way we can get more of the crazy stuff and the big names, especially the guys at LSU swinging a pencil bat on the
Yeah.
field, I think that helps everybody. So I think, more customization. I would wonder how far is it going to go with some of these. At some point, I think it would have to tame out a little bit. It is getting a little wild, but yeah, I think MLB is going to have to follow suit at some point, or else it's just going to continue to do what they, maybe a downward slope. But I hope that they can at least start bringing some more of the colors into MLB regulation. I don't see why they couldn't do a royal blue or a navy blue or an orange or something of those sorts. So I do hope that they can follow suit with the college and high school stuff. But yeah, just more customization.
Yeah.
Just more crazy.
I agree. Bring a little bit more fun. Big organizations, like you said, Major League Baseball is obviously one of those. Slow to turn, right? Slow to navigate. And by the time they do it, everybody else is already there. And so I think I absolutely agree with you. Jacob, I appreciate the opportunity. Make sure you follow Jacob Walters on JAWBats. He's, again, baseballbluebook.com. You can download the app. The information is there. But you can also follow this on Spotify, Apple, iTunes. We're everywhere that you have podcasts, as well as the YouTube channel. So make sure that you subscribe, you follow us. It helps us, grow our audience and get the message out. Again, Eric Wilbanaugh with the Baseball Blue Book, the Pitch Podcast. Jacob, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, and appreciate what you guys do for the baseball world. So
thank you. All right. That was perfect. 20 minutes or so. Not a lot of your time. I know you're busy.